It was bound to happen, and it finally has. COVID's hit Queensland. My wife's got it. We're stuck in for about a week. No running, nothing this week. It's an opportunity for me to get some stuff done around the house and talk about my goals for 2022. What do I want to achieve? Before we start talking about 2022, let's have a look at how I went with my goals in 2021. In 2021, I had 3 goals. First one, run 2 marathons. Absolutely failed at that. I tried the first one and I sucked at that. I couldn't do the marathons. I had a new baby at home. It just wasn't the right time, so I had to scrap that goal completely. The second goal was to develop some consistency in training, and I had this whole plan about how I was going to be consistent with my training. I was going to do it. And it didn't work. I eventually achieved that goal, and I absolutely smashed it out of the park in the second half of the year. I had like 8 days where I wasn't actually training, so the consistency was massive, and the improvements that I made in the second half of the year compared to the first half of the year were awesome. It's a change in mindset in July that really made that happen. My third goal was a goal for this YouTube channel, and it was to do 2 videos a week, and I absolutely failed at that. It was too much for me. It was too hard. I was being too ambitious with it. So I got to make some changes to how I do my goals. Still going to separate them into 3 areas. I have racing goals, training goals, and channel goals, but I'm going to have more than one in each area because a year's a long time. I need more to work on. I like to tick little things off along the way. Anyway, speaking of ticking things off along the way, this monstrosity has been annoying me. Let's fix it. Let's start with racing goals. All right. I figured out really quickly in 2021 that I just don't have the time to train for a marathon, and I can't do it justice right now, so I've got to put that on hold for a little while. Same deal with triathlons and stuff like that. It's just not the right time for me. So I'm going to concentrate on the 5, the 10 and the half marathon. What do I want to achieve in those areas? 5k and as close to 18 as possible. I'd really love it if I could dip under 18 minutes, but I don't know if that's possible for me. Right now, I'm sitting at 19:10. That was late 2021, and I'll have plenty of opportunity to do that throughout the year with park runs. I'd also love to have a crack at a track race, but we don't really have that much opportunity here in Cairns to do track races, so I don't know, I'll keep an eye out. I don't know. Anyway, 10k, I still want to get that sub 40. I want to get back down under 40 minutes, smash that sub 40 and try and bring that down as far as I can. I've got heaps of opportunities to do that. There's like 6 or 8 Clifton Beach 10k races this year. There's a new race coming to Cairns in April, the Cairns 50, but they're doing a 10k race as well, and I've already entered in that in April, so there's plenty of opportunities for me to bring that down, and that's what I'm going to focus on first, is that 10k pace. The half marathon, would really love to bring that down to sub 90. Right now I'm at 1 hour 37, so I've got like 7 minutes to take off that, but I really think I was holding myself back in that 1 hour 37 half marathon that I did. So I reckon I'm a chance there of bringing that down to under 90 minutes. A couple of opportunities. There's Cairns half that's in July. That's in a cooler time of year for us, so it's an opportunity there. And later on in the year, there's one down in Melbourne that I've got my eye on, and I think we're going to be travelling in September when that's on. So I should be able to have a crack at that and see if I can't do it in Cairns in July, I can head down to Melbourne, and where it's a little bit cooler, a little bit easier to run at those faster paces, and should be able to have a fair dinkum crack at that 90-minute half marathon. Another job I've wanted to get done is cleaning all this up. Let's go. That's not working. Give me 1 minute. Okay, much better. Now let's talk about my training goals. In 2021, I managed 2,457 Ks. That's more than double, I think, the number of Ks I've done previously. That's a lot of Ks for me. This year I want to nudge that up again. Ideally I'd like to get to 3,500, but I don't want to go too far. So I'm going to aim for a start for 3,000 Ks next year. The main one that I want, that I think is going to have a big impact on how I perform next year, trying to get in throughout the year at least 30 2-hour long runs. Now there's 52 weeks in a year, so that's giving me 22 weeks where I don't manage to get a 2-hour long run. From all the reading that I've been doing, it's the long run that's holding me back. I'm not running for long enough once a week. It's going to be hard to do, and it is going to have an impact on me, but I'm just going to try it. Last training goal is to have 330 plus active days throughout the year. Okay, next job on the list was to fix up a little shade thing for the dogs. So I've had this thing lying around. I just got to put a half shady sort of roof on it. Let's do it. Dog shade, done. I do also have goals for the channel. Two things I'd like to do. I want to turn this into something that has an influence. There are two things that happened this year that made me realise that this does actually have an impact on people. There was a guy who reached out and said that he followed one of my training plans and got himself a PB. There's another guy over in America who watches this and he uses one of my race plans every time he races now too. So there are little bits here that I see that I'm making a difference, but I guess I want to just try and build it a bit bigger and make it a bit better. So two aims that I have to try and measure that against. One, video every week. That's what I'd like to do. Get in the habit of doing video every week. I've started to set up some routines. Hopefully that'll help. Second thing is to try and grow this to 500 subscribers. At the moment, I'm sitting on 127. If you're new here and want to follow along, I'd love for you to click the subscribe button. Otherwise, if you've got some suggestions about how I can make it better, make sure you put them down below in the comments. But yeah, on to my next job. Well, that's about it. That's what I want to achieve this year. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening. Really do appreciate you taking the time out to listen to me waffle about myself. If you'd like to follow along, make sure you do so. If you've got any thoughts, love to hear about them down in the comments and have a chat. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.